Hello there, Internet. Today I want to talk about how we view happiness. Because I think that there's a lot of misapprehensions about happiness, what it takes to be happy, and I think that putting it in the correct frame makes it easier to think about the process of going from where you are to a happy life. So, the most important point is that happiness isn't some sort of state that you arrive at. It's not like you do X, Y, and Z, and then boom, you're happy, and then it's over, right? Like, oh, great, happy, that's been achieved, just tuck that on my belt, life is good, go do something else. It's an ongoing process to be a happy human being. And it's an ongoing creative process to be a happy human being. And that's really important, is that you have to practice being happy with the same dedication and patience that you would practice like painting or writing or playing music. You have to expect to start off not being very good at it and learn along the way how to produce more and more masterful performances. I think this is a way better frame to deal with the challenges that people face, because there's sort of an entitlement issue where people think, why should I have to work to be happy? I should just get to be happy. And if the universe were like concerned with things like justice or fairness or even kindness, yeah, sure, maybe, but it's not. As far as we can tell, the universe doesn't care about us, and if we want to be happy, we're going to have to build something for ourselves to achieve that experience. And this frame makes it easier to think about what's going on, because there are issues with creative processes that are obvious that are not obvious to a lot of people as they engage with the process of being a happy human being, right? Like, if you want to be a writer, just because you can perceive in your head this beautiful masterpiece of a novel, that doesn't mean you have the chops to make it, right? You can't just sit down at a typewriter and bang that bad boy out. You're going to have to go through an iterative process where you write hundreds of stories to even start understanding what it's going to take to become a great novelist, right? And then once you build your way up to, okay, I can actually write a novel, you have to go through entire cycles of feedback to find out what it is that engages people in a storytelling process on that scale. You're going to have to learn all of the nuances of that craft before the vision in your head can be realized. And that's an issue that comes up a lot with people when they start actually really paying attention to, like, I would like to be a happy human being, is they have some insights, right? Like, boom, here's the white light, the joy, the happiness, and they can just see it. They see what their life could be. And then they're like, okay, now I just gotta make that happen. And they don't have the tools or the experience or just the depth of knowledge to act on that vision, to realize that life, and they get frustrated. If they haven't really gotten the lowdown on what the process looks like, you can understand why people get frustrated, right? It's to be able to see the happy life that awaits you and not be able to get there is incredibly frustrating. But it's going to take some time and a hell of a lot of practice for your skills to be equal to your vision in that regard. So, if you frame it as, okay, I'm starting off on this new creative process and I've got to get good at it, it's a lot easier to understand when you fall short that that's part of the process of learning. With this frame, you are way less susceptible to just people being charlatans, right? If somebody comes up to you and says, I can teach you a secret, big secret that's going to let you sculpt like Michelangelo, you know immediately that that person's full of it, right? Because there's no big secret to sculpting like a master. There's like 100,000 little secrets, and you learn that from the stone, right? And it's really the same in the process of being a happy human being. There isn't a big secret. Like, nobody's gonna just go like, boom, I've got it all set up for you, and now you don't have to worry about it. You're just gonna be happy from here forward, which unfortunately is a thing that people really, really desperately want to believe, and that's how you get all kinds of cults and people being exploited or fleeced and whatnot. But it's just not like that. There are a lot of little secrets, and you have to learn them through engaging meaningfully in your life in a process of striving towards your own happiness. The learning of those secrets is not always going to be pleasant. generally is actually not too bad, but there are going to be some hard times, and there are going to be some frustrating times, and there's going to be some times when you think that you've gotten better than you actually have, and you set out on something a little bigger than you're actually capable of, and you fall short, and you have to learn a new piece of information that's going to help you along the way, and you have to have the right frame to take that in for that process to not be so frustrating that you give up on learning the skills of being a happy human being. Right? And along the way, though, all creative processes produce artifacts, and your artifacts are beautiful moments, right? Moments of joy, of peace, of kindness, of compassion. And as you build your skills, you experience more and more and more of those, and they're of higher and higher quality. And at the end of the day, you end up with this body of work, which is a well-lived life. And there comes a moment where you realize, I am being happy. This is a thing that I am doing day in and day out, and this is deeply rewarding. And that's what you can look forward to, as long as you keep the whole process from start, know nothing, novice, to mastery in the right frame, so that you can keep your motivation up. So that's about that. Happiness, it's not somewhere that you end up. It's a process that you practice every single day. It's a creative process. It has a tremendous depth of skills that you have to acquire. And sometimes that's going to be frustrating, and that's okay, because in the end of the day, the artifacts that you produce, the joy that you experience, is going to make it all worth it. That's all I got to say about that. Overhead kind of stuff. Wholesome 2018. Keep on it. I recently had a buddy say to me, like, hey, I saw your most recent video. That was cool. And I was like, oh yeah, which video? Because I'd actually forgotten which of my ideas that I had I'd actually done recently. Keeping things like that in mind is not my strongest suit. And he said, oh, it's this. I was like, that was a while ago. And it turns out, unbeknownst to me, YouTube, you gotta push the little bell button if you want notifications. Somewhere down there, I don't know. So if you're enjoying the videos and you would like to actually be informed when they happen, push the little bell button. Like and comment. I gotta do this because, I don't know, YouTube has this weird opaque system for actually conveying to people that the things that they're interested in have updated. So there you go. That's about it. Catch you guys later.